Hey everyone, welcome to VU's Staryard. Today we're going to be building the UC Manticore. And so to start, we're going to merge the reactor and the grav drive. So to do this, you're going to need a hab. I like to use the 1x1s. What you're going to do is you're going to duplicate the hab and place it on top. And then place the reactor over the grav drive. Now to do this trick, you're going to need to grab the bottom hab and your grav drive or your reactor, and then you're going to duplicate it and it's going to force it down. So we're just going to delete this one and delete this one, and we're going to do the same process again, grabbing the bottom one and grabbing the reactor. And then we're just going to clean up. Now you can see they're all taking up one space. Now what we want to do is we want to do this mid bracer, and we want to merge this piece into there too. So we're going to duplicate it and then grab both pieces, duplicate it, and see, wanted to duplicate up, and then now duplicate again, and then duplicate down. Now we're going to leave these here and duplicate one more, and that's because we're going to also force two engines into this space. So what you want to do is you want to cover the engine. If not, it's going to want to go upwards when you duplicate it, not downwards like it just did. And you're going to duplicate it one more time, and then you're going to grab that one again and duplicate it one more time to force the two there, and then we're just going to clean up. And there you go. Now we have our two engines, our cross brace, and our reactor and our grav drive all in one space. So now we're going to grab this companionway, place this here, and now here is our hidden cockpit right there, but we're going to grab the docker first and place it under that 1x1 hab. Now we're going to grab our cockpit and attach it to the 1x1 hab. Now this build is flown in third person. You will not be able to see out of the cockpit. Now we're going to do a little trick with these weapon mounts, the horizon weapon mounts. There's no actual mounting positions on the front of the cockpit. So we're going to use the back mounting positions for the Nova Cowling, sorry. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to attach the Deimos wings to it with the weapon mounts. So what you're going to do is you're going to glitch these into here by flipping them back and forth and letting them go. And now we created a connection point. We're going to do the same thing. Now we're going to be doing this 4 times throughout the video. We're basically creating our own snapping points. Now we're going to grab these pieces, and we're going to finish out the back of the ship. Now that snap point is going to go to the front snap point there, and the other one's going to go to the back, just like that. Now I'm just going to grab all 3 of these pieces and just move them, because you're just going to mirror what you just did there. Now you'll see with this Deimos wing piece that it doesn't just snap there. It's not just going to connect there. It's not wanting to snap there. It's just, you're able to move it around freely. So what you want to do is you want to get it as close to the snap point as possible. Flip it and then let it go. And then grab your ship, select it, and then it'll auto snap to that point for you. Now it's all connected, see? And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, getting as close to the snap point as possible. And we're just going to move this out of the way. And move this out of the way because we need to grab our other horizon mounts that are actually glitched into the landing bay, because there's no snap points on the side of the landing bay. And without these, you'll get the error for the unattached modules. And we're going to do the same thing we did with the Deimos wings. Get as close to as possible. And then grab the ship. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to grab the horizon weapon mount. Place it here. And then do the same thing we did on the other side with the Nova piece by flipping it back and forth and getting it as close as possible. And then the ship will snap to it. Now we'll attach our Nova Cowling. You want to make sure that this is flush with that Nova Cowling, just like that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now we're not ready to attach our bay yet because there's no snapping point for it. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to take these engines out now. And then we're going to place these on the front of the ship, making sure that they're snapped on the bottom. Then we're going to grab our Nova Cowling. We're going to get it as close as possible. And then flip it back and forth and then let it go. Then we're going to grab the ship and it'll auto snap for us. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now you can see everything is now attached. Now we're going to grab this 1x1 hab. Place it there. We're going to grab our living quarters. Place it there. And then the workshop. And place it there. Now we have a snap point for our landing bay. So we're going to go underneath the ship. So you don't want it here, you want it on the front two snap points, like this. What you're going to do is you're going to flip it, and then flip it again, and let it go. So this is what it should look like so far. And then we'll grab our Stroud Cap A. And take our Deimos Wing A piece, snap it there. That's going to create a snapping point for our radiator, so we can have that sit on top of our Cap A, just like that. And then for whatever reason, my back hat did not attach properly. So that's why I like to check my builds and make sure I'm grabbing the ship and making sure everything's attached before I move on to the next piece. And so we're just basically repeating the last steps on this side. Place this piece over there. And this piece right on top of it. And then this piece is going to attach to the forward part here, because that's going to give us the snapping point for our other engines. And so we're going to move these pieces out of the way underneath, because it's just easier to flip them back in place once we have the engines out there. just put this right here. And then we'll finish putting these Stroud Cap A's on. And then connect that one. Now we can move that apart. And we can add this on. Now we'll duplicate the engine and place it there, and duplicate the engine and place it there. Now we have all 6 of our engines. So I recommend looking underneath because you want it to attach to that point right there. And then move it forward so it attaches there, so it attaches those back pieces to the rest of the ship. So now when we go and we select all, you can see it's all one piece. And we'll take the Nova Radiators, add them there. And add them there, just like that. And I'm going to move this aside. This is the HopeTech nose piece. So what I want to grab is I want to grab this weapon mount. Because you need to place the weapon mount first, and then you can flip the nose piece, and then let it go, and then grab the ship, and it'll connect. Now it's all connected again. We're just going to glitch this into place. This one cooperates, but then the next one doesn't cooperate, so I play with it a little bit, and then I make sure that it's all attached, and I try to play with it, and I try to get it to go into place, but it just doesn't want to cooperate. So because you're not really going to see it, I just kind of leave it, but you're more than welcome to fiddle with it. But for me, for whatever reason, I couldn't figure out why it kept attaching there, because there's no snap point there, but you'll see it just attaches randomly to a different part of the ship where there's no actual snap point. So it was kind of weird that it did that. So as you see, I grab it to try to snap it to the ship, and it's attached somehow. I'm not sure how that happened, but it did attach. It's probably attached to the Stroud piece underneath, but so I'm not going to fiddle with it anymore. I'm just going to get it on there, because you're not really going to see it much. And there you go. Now it's all one piece. Now we want to work on these cosmetic pieces on the side. So this is going to go all the way back, right there. We're going to flip it and let it go. Then we're going to do the same on the other side. And then this one is going to flip right there and attach. And the same thing with this Deimos Wing piece. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And then there we go. We got that wing piece. And then we got that piece. We're going to take this other Deimos Wing piece, and that one's just going to attach there. No need to flip it or glitch it. Same thing with this one. Now, as I was building this, I found some garbage pieces that were not needed anymore. So for example, I find out that I don't really need as many equipment plates as I have on this build. And that's kind of the fun part about tearing these builds apart and rebuilding them, is that you find, pieces that you can take off to make it more efficient. So this one, we're going to try to get it as close as possible to the snap point. And then we're going to grab the ship. And there we go. And that breaks up the profile of the wing a little bit. And then we're just going to repeat the process on the other side, getting as close to the snap point as possible. And then letting it go. And there you go. Now I will be doing weekly build video tutorials. Now we're going to take this piece and attach it here. Just like we did on the other side. And now we'll work on these wing pieces. We're going to attach them here, flip them back and forth and let them go. And then we're going to mirror that on the other part of the nose. And now we're going to overlap these wing pieces. What you're going to need to do, same thing as before, try to get it as close to the snap point as possible and flip it. Let it go. Grab the ship, the whole ship, by hitting select all. And then A. Same thing, grabbing the whole ship, selecting it. And that's what the build should look like so far. And we're going to take this spine piece, place it on the very front. We're going to do the same thing with the radiator. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this mid bracer, but there's no bottom connecting point for the mid bracer, you can see. So what you're going to need to do first is there is a Nova Cowling piece underneath here. Right there. And you're going to attach that to the ship itself first. So I'm just going to move the bracer out of the way. And there we go. And now that's going to give us a flush snap point for that. And now we can take this off. And we can grab our Nova weapon mount. Attach that. Then we can grab our HopeTech nose piece. And flip it. Now I attach this piece again to show you that even though the snap point's gone and it's being taken up by those two pieces, you can flip this nose piece, grab the whole ship. There you go. So now I make a mistake here by removing this piece. I should have left it there. Because once I attach this piece, it has a top snap point. And what that does is basically it creates an error because it's not wanting to allow me to put the Nova piece in. So that piece doesn't require any tricks, but so when you see when I come here to try to do it, it wants to keep snapping to that top snapping point. So I try to get it as close as possible, but it's just not working out. So the solution is to just take this piece off, put that piece on, flip, snap, and then now we can take this piece and we can put it right there as close to the snap point as possible, let it go, and then this ship will attach to it. Now you want to take the Deimos Tail A piece, attach that to the back of the cross brace, mid bracer for Stroud. That's going to snap to the back snapping point. Same thing for this one. We're going to repeat the process, so it's got that overhang. That's going to allow us to attach that piece. And then grab our other Nova piece. And flip that way. We're going to grab this other Nova piece. We're going to get as close to the snap point as possible. See, now when you do that, it wants to go down. So what you want to do is you want to cycle through, get it as close as possible, and then there you can see I got it so close that I actually snapped it into position. So you want to do the same thing with this piece. Try to get it as close as possible to the snap point, and then cycle it, and let it go, then grab the ship, and then it'll attach to that piece right there. So you see before I got it right on the nose, that time I didn't, so I grabbed the ship and the ship fixed it for me. Now we're going to attach this Deimos Wing piece. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I was missing one of these pieces, so you need two of those pieces. And that creates a nice squared tail right there. Now we're using these pieces just to fill in the gap. See, you get the triangle there, so it's going to fill in that gap. So you want to get it as close as possible. Let it go. And I just connected it, so I got it like right on the nose. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's very nice. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. Try to get it as close to the snap point as possible. Let it go. And you can see I attached that piece right on the nose as well. So now what we want to do is we're going to grab the HopeTech Pipes. We're going to get that as close as we can to the snap point, and then flip it. Let it go, and then grab the ship, and it will attach for us. Now we're going to grab the Wing C pieces, and those have snap points already, so we're just going to flip and drop. Same thing here, just flip and drop. Now we're going to finish up with these radiators. That one you don't have to glitch, but the other one you will have to glitch so they can take up the same space. Flip it and then let it go. That'll connect to the snap point. Now we're going to duplicate this, so that way we have 4 of these fuel tanks. And we're going to glitch it in to here. And then it's going to want to attach to the inside, so I'm just going to flip it back towards the middle of the ship and then let it go. Just make sure that it's attached. So that technique I used right there, you can also, if you're having troubles with a piece that's not attached and you can't figure out where it is, instead of tearing apart the whole ship, you can just grab the ship and move it to the side, and then any parts that are not attached will be left. So there we go, we got our fuel tanks in. And so now we can finish up our cosmetic pieces. We can add on the Deimos Spine C piece, and then grab our Deimos Spine A piece. That's going to sit right on top of that other piece. So I don't actually need those equipment plates. I actually end up deleting them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this landing gear. It's going to go right into the reactor and the grab drive. That's why we added that Nova brace piece earlier, because it's going to create a snap point for this. And so we're just going to cycle through. And there we go. We want the 2 landers there. And you can see they're attached. Now we're going to duplicate this because we're going to need 4 of these. These are going to snap to these forward parts right here. So you just want to get it as close to the snap point as possible, right there in the back. That way it's hidden by the cap A. And so we're going to just grab it and select. We're going to do the same thing with the front. Getting as close as possible, then cycling through. And then grabbing it. And there you go, it's attached. Now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, just cycle through them, let go, grab the whole ship by hitting select all, A. And we're going to add this gear. All. I'm going to move this out of the way. What I'm going to do here is place a equipment plate. And what we're going to do here is that Nova Cowling piece we're going to end up moving. What I realize is I'm missing my other turrets. So I'm just going to go all the way down to get the alpha turrets. I can place one. This one you can place here. Now once it's on the equipment plate, you can hit duplicate. And you can duplicate that piece again and again, and you can see the weapon bars filled up. So there's 4 of them there. And then we're just going to cover those EM weapons with our cap A. Move that out of the way, because we have a weapon snap point right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach our auto turret there. And we're going to duplicate it, and then duplicate it so that way we have 4 of them there. And you can see they're all attached. The only thing that's not attached is that landing gear. Then we're going to assign our weapon. You can see all of our bars are full. Now we'll take our shield. We'll attach it right there. And we'll throw back our cap A. Cover up the shield. We'll take our Nova Cowling. That's going to hide our weapons for us. Now, I don't know what happened there, so I basically just hit the undo button. So what I would recommend doing, so you don't end up having to do that, is that you can actually cycle. Then when you cycle, it didn't disappear on me. Now we're going to take this, and now we don't need these equipment plates, so I'm not going to include them on the build list. And we're going to put those on the other side, so I'm just going to clean up. We're going to move this piece out to the side, and then now we can hide this set of guns back in the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it and then drop it. Now that we have all 4 weapon pieces, you can see that the build is done. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun. Be on the lookout for my next video. Thank you. See y'all into Starfield.